Sorry for that. So innovation and collaboration is really, really shaped the Netherlands, and it really, if you want to fight against water or create your own country, it requires collaboration, open discussion, and collective decision making. And all these traits can still be found in our governance in the Netherlands, and especially in business and academia. And we call this the Dutch diamond, where we have academia, government, businesses, and civil society working together to solve common challenges. And climate change is one of those common challenges, and we really believe that we need to work together in order to safeguard our planet for future generations. And it's very good to hear that this is already the 10th Climate Launchpad event, and it generates these ideas that come from different people, different parts of society to address this common challenge. And actually, the Climate Launchpad itself is also innovation or a start. It was a startup. It was an idea by Frans Nauta, who's a professor at the Delft University. And it's now grown to one of the largest green business idea competitions in the world. And innovation hubs and incubators like PDIE, which the organizer of the Climate Launchpad event, are important drivers of this change and innovation geared towards addressing the most pressing issues of our time. And so last year we had great ideas and innovations that came out of the Climate Launchpad. And I'm really looking forward also to the final later this year to see what kind of ideas and innovations and startups we have this year. I truly believe that the Climate Launchpad is a good opportunity to engage with each other and also with startups and innovators from all around the world. Last year, I think 58 countries participated. And hopefully, again, some of the ideas that came out of Japan will go to the final at the end of this year. So thank you, Christian, for organizing, and thank you everybody for being here, and looking forward to the process that is to come in the final later this year. Thank you.
So now we have prepared a special video message from the Dutch Prince, Constantine. He's a brother of the king right now, and he is giving a message of encouragement to our this year's finalists, basically. So let's go, Prince Constantine.
Dear finalists at this Climate Launchpad event, it's my big honor to welcome you and wish you an incredibly inspiring gathering, and obviously the bootcamp that will follow. You're following in great footsteps. Climate Launchpad itself has been the idea of a single person and it's grown to be such a big event globally. This I hope you can do as well with your businesses, that you can take a small idea and execute it in a way that you'll have a real impact on climate change, and it's so necessary. And it's also something that I think we're very proud of in the Netherlands, that we have many entrepreneurs that are so passionate about this topic. And I really hope this is going to be, this is a global movement, and that you'll be part of that, and we will see a lot of change coming out of entrepreneurship and innovation in the future. So wishing you well, have fun as well, be inspired, and make the world a bit of a better place. Thank you very much.
Once again, the significance and importance of innovation for the Netherlands. The Dutch Prince is actually heading something called Tech Leap. And Tech Leap is...
Today I'm in Den Haag in the Netherlands. Princess Laurentien and Prince Constantine of the Netherlands. They really saw through the restrictiveness of royalty to shine as humans in my eyes.
Just a moment.
Ooh, you've got...
There you go. Very good. So Tech Leap is the official Dutch support for startups. So recently in Japan, there's a big movement of the government, all the different ministries now put money into startups. And that's one topic, starting something. And the other topic is climate and impact. And this is what we are talking about today. So I'm Christian Schmitz. I'm the founder of Purpose-Driven Innovation Ecosystem, PDIE Group, and I will just guide you very quickly through our activities, what we're doing. We always start with the overview, the blue planet. Everything is connected, like climate is everywhere connected. And with small ideas, we can build big enterprises. This is actually at the end of the presentation by a Greek philosopher. And you can just go quickly. So purpose has not been known as a word when we started 3 or 4 years ago. And recently, Japanese companies are using this very much. What is your purpose? Why are you starting what you're doing? And why are you starting? And how would you like to actually contribute to the society, to the environment, and to the well-being of people? And at the moment, the situation looks even more severe than when we started. So we have the 3 divides. We have the environmental, social, and cultural and spiritual divide. At the moment, we are at the end of a pandemic that makes us able to gather here in this beautiful space. But we have a military conflict in Europe, which nobody has thought about a little while ago. But we have technology, and we can solve things by technology and innovation. And innovation is usually locally limited and has no global access. And we are all responsible. We are all part, and we can all be part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. And that's our vision is to co-create a better tomorrow by finding the most impactful and sustainable innovations and scale them to international markets. And the Climate Launchpad is exactly this. From an idea, we bring it to the world. 4 areas: renewable energy, clean water, food and agri-tech, and circular economy. Build locally and scale globally. And we are working across the stakeholders. So we have corporations, startups, academia, and then on the other side, we have the capital, venture capital, angel investors, and private equity. And we have to work with government in some cases. And of course, the individual is somebody like you who has an idea and comes with the idea and builds something great. 3 pillars: educate, inspire with the PDIE Institute, build awareness, and this awareness needs to be switched into action with our PDIE consulting activities, and the PDIE ecosystem is something we are doing right now. So today we're talking about the Climate Launchpad, and I will just say that the last 2 years were quite successful. We had people from Japan, but the 3 winners of the national final would go to the regional final, and then they would go to the global stage. And we did it 2 times, and both times we had startups from Japan on the global stage. After our presentation, we have former participants and make a panel, so you can also ask them directly. 2 of them are already here, and 1 is expected to join a little bit later. Idea stage is Climate Launchpad. Earthshot Prize is something where people have already a proof of concept and have a highly scalable and highly game-changing idea. This is what Prince William founded in 2020, and we have been there from the beginning. And we also have been very successful with the Earthshot Prize. In the first 2 years, we nominated 4 finalists and 2 winners, which is almost impossible because there are 370 nominators worldwide and 3,000 nominations so far. So we hope that maybe this year we do it again. Let's see. And we also started a movement around sustainable cities together with OIST, Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology. which is a very important institution in Japan, with some Nobel Prize winners from all over the world. And it's basically thinking or architecting the future of living, which is a more distributed model of living instead of having everybody living only in the metropolitan areas. And we also look into the topic of ESG when we deal with corporations. And we have a special partner for this, Professor Philip Sugai from Doshisha University. He has summarized all the existing frameworks, more than 833 frameworks, and created the stakeholder model, which includes the planet and nature as well. Yeah, we do events. We have a couple of events on our schedule this year, and if you join our different channels, you will be informed about these events. We regularly bring together startups also with investors, and one of the highlights this year would be also an event in New York, the Future of Climate, which we are planning with a New York agency at the moment. So for us, it's important that we can create a connection between Japan and the world. Yeah, this is our team here in Japan, and Yuichi is here and Eli is here. Akira-san is online listening, and Hana is in transit maybe somewhere because she is going to the UK right now. And we have 22 ambassadors in. We have ambassadors in 22 countries. This is a selection of our ambassadors. Yeah. So and of course, ecosystem means that we also collaborate with other ecosystem builders, and we have partly things which are on the investment side, and partly things which are have to do with research. We are currently also working on a global innovation center in Tokyo. I hope that we can build a lot of new connections today, and we will have a lot of ideas for the Climate Launchpad. So I will close with that. Maybe it was a little bit longer than expected, but thank you so much for being here, and we are looking forward to this year's season and hope that we can do it again. Thank you so much. And I give the word to Eli and Yuichi. Thank you.
We'll be presenting to you about Climate Launchpad. We'll do a quick intro in English and Japanese. This is the only bilingual part, just in case there's a Japanese audience that we want you to understand better. And then after the introduction, we'll have a panel discussion from our past participants. And then after that, we will be having a Q&A session. So if you have any question, please ask at the Q&A session. If you are online, please input your chat whenever you want to in the chat box, and we'll pick it up at the Q&A session. Thank you.
はい、ここからはバイリンガルで、ですけど、ここからクライメットローンチパッドのプログラムそのものの説明をします。ここ重要なので、英語のみではなく、日本語も、で、プログラムを説明した後に、実際に昨年までに参加されたパネリストたちを用意してますので、プログラムの内容とか、どういった経験をしたのかっていうのは、この後、パネルディスカッションの中でも確認できますし、その後、Q&A セッションもありますので、その中で、質問をしていただければと思います。で、オンラインの方々に関しては、チャットで、質問を記していただければ我々拾いますので、そんなことで、進めていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
So what is Climate Launchpad? Climate Launchpad is the world's largest green business ideas competition. It is part of the entrepreneurship offering of EIT Climate Kick by the European Union.
クライメットローンチパッドは何かというと、EU 連合が支援している世界最大のグリーンビジネス起業家を育成するプログラムです。Sorry, I'm multitasking.
So Peter mentioned about the founder, Franz Nauta, but he mentioned that it's a business school in disguise. That is how former participants describe our competition. We train people with green ideas to become successful entrepreneurs.
はい、フランスナウタ、先ほどピーターからも紹介ありました、このファウンダーですけれども、どういうことを言ってるかっていうと、まるで MBA プログラム、グリーンテックの、イノベーションを、それをアイディアを形にする、そういうビジネススクールのようだというようなことを言っています。
The ClimateLaunchpad is a worldwide competition. So it's been going for 10 years and we've had like 3,000 plus green business ideas and competing in 58 countries.
はい。これも先ほどピーターからも話ありましたけど、10年間クライメットローンチパッドが始まってから、今回で10回目ですけれども、3000プラスのアイディアが紹介されて、また参加したチームそのものということで言うと、680以上のチームを今回のプログラムの中でトレーニングをしてまいりました。
How does it work? It's pretty much in 4 rounds. The first round is mini course and boot camp, which you can actually learn how to be a startup and all the techniques and tools you need.
で、プログラム自体は4つのラウンドで構成されています。最初のラウンドはミニコースとブートキャンプ。結構これがインテンスなんですけど、ここで多くのことを学べる、そういうようなツールを我々の方で用意しています。
Round 2 is what's my microphone?
Try again. Yeah.
Round 2 is the 6 intensive.
Try to hold it up.
Yeah. It keeps on shutting off.
Use this one. I can hear it louder.
Round. This one also showing me.
It must be you.
Is it okay if I go first? Hello?
Yeah, go.
Round 2 is the 6 intensive coaching session and the national finals.
ラウンド2は、6回の、コーチングセッションを用意しています。で、また、ナショナルファイナルは、そのインテンシブなコーチングの後に続きます。
The top 3 winners of the national finalists will go to the regional finals in round 3.
で、ナショナルファイナルで勝った3組がリージョナルファイナルに進みます。
And in round 4, they would have the opportunity to actually pitch in front of some global investors.
で、ラウンド4でグローバルショーケースといって、より広範な、オーディエンスの前で、プレゼンテーションする機会が得られます。
What are the benefits of participating? The first one is definitely the biggest one. You can acquire the tools and knowledge necessary to scale your idea to a global level and launch yourself and to launch your startup for a business success.
で、どういうベネフィットがあるかっていうことなんですけども、一番上にあるのが一番重要だって我々考えてますけれども、アイデアをどうやってビジネスプランにするのか、そして実際のビジネスを立ち上げるのか、こういったようなことを学ぶツールっていうものを我々提供しております。
The second point is the one-on-one coaching with the experienced and engaging coaches. We have some coaches in the crowd today as well, but in few cases, the startups actually and the coaches continue as an advisor of that startup. So if you have a good relationship, then it's a really good asset.
はい、コーチングはワンオンワンのコーチング、それぞれのチームに一人コーチがつきます。で、そこで関係性を構築していくとですね、過去にはそのコーチがその会社のアドバイザーになった、そういうようなこともあります。なので、そういうような関係性を構築できるようなプログラムとなっています。
Third point is connect with international local partners and investors, and our past finalists have actually raised 40 million yen in seed round.
過去には、2019年のファイナリスト EF ポリマーは、4000万、シードラウンドにで4000万を実際に獲得した、 こういうようなことも得られております。
And there will be some prizes and awards for the national round and international stages.
そして実際には商品、そういったものも特典としてはあります。
Who can enter? Anyone with a promising green business idea can enter. It's for someone who has an idea. And if your company is incorporated, it needs to be less than a year old with no commercial product or services and with less than JPY 26 million of funding.
気候変動を改善するアイデアがあれば、どなたでも参加することは可能です。ただし、すでに起業している場合は、発売中の商品とかサービスが、20万ユーロ、約2600万円稼いでいないというようなことが、保有資金が2600万以下だというようなことが条件となります。
This program is fully in English. So we would ask for the team, the startup teams, to have at least one member of the teammate who can interact in English, and the members to be permanently or temporarily residing in Japan until November 2023.
はい、プログラム自体はすべて英語で行われます。なので、チーム自体全員が英語を話す必要はないんですけども、最低限英語を話せる人、コミュニケーションできる人、プレゼンテーションができる人っていうのは必要になります。また、我々ジャパンラウンドの事務局なので、11月の23日まで、の間、日本に住んでいる人がチームにいるということが一つの条件になります。
And we invite you, not only the students or any individuals, but if you're a corporate entrepreneur, we invite you to enter as well.
で、ここがすごく重要だっていうふうに我々考えてますけども、一般的なスタートアップのみならず、企業内起業家ですね。日本の場合だと、一般的な会社の中でも、いろんなチャレンジがあるというふうに思ってますけど、そういうチャレンジを我々も実現することをサポートしたいと考えてます。
The timeline is here. The most important one is May 26th, the deadline. So please apply by May 26th.
ここにタイムラインがありますけども、一番重要なのは、アプリケーションのデッドライン。これが5月の26日になってます。
After that, we will be contacting the applicants with a mini course, which is our filter to actually select the 8 to 10 teams that will be going through the program.
で、ここで、我々の中では内部的には、セレクションの、選考を行って、8から10チームに絞ってミニコース、そしてブートキャンプに進むチームを選ばせていただきます。
And those 8 to 10 teams will be going through the boot camps in June and 6 coaching sessions in July, August, and the national finals in August 26.
はい。で、選ばれた8から10、10チームは6月にブートキャンプ、そして7月から8月にかけて、6回のコーチングセッションを得て、8月の26日にジャパンナショナルファイナルを行う予定になっています。
And in fall, winter time, we'll have the Asia and the global showcase.
で、その先にですね、リージョナル、そしてグローバルの、オポチュニティというのが待っています。
So for Climate Launchpad, we have actually 8 themes. I'll be introducing you the 7 themes, and this 8th theme is actually the next big thing. So this next big thing can be anything that would be quite an extraordinary idea.
ここから、8のテーマとありますけど、実際には7のテーマで、一番上の Next Big Thing っていうのは、どんだけスケーラブルで、インパクトフルなものなのかということで、これはカテゴリーではないので、実際には7つのテーマを紹介したいと思います。
First theme is adaptation and resilience. It's the idea to best mitigate the ever-increasing natural disaster caused by climate change, such as educational tools on the impact or risks, and technologies or tools that prevent or reduce the effect of the climate impact.
一つ目のテーマは Adaptation and Resilience です。これは非常に日本的なテーマかなというふうに我々考えてますけども、例えば気候変動によって起こる天災に対する防災に関する、教育だとか、 天災のインパクトを、どうやってミニマイズするか、もしくはそこから復活するのか、こういったようなアイディアを求めています。
Circular economy is any idea to reduce, take, make, and waste.
サーキュラーエコノミーは循環型、エコノミーですね。これは説明するまでもないので、次に行きたいと思います。
Urban solutions, ideas to help transform urban environments into decarbonizing beacons.
脱炭素都市ですね、スマートシティなどを、に関するアイディアをテーマとして集めたいと思います。
Clean energy is clean energy.
クリーンエナジーは説明無用かと思います。
Food systems are ideas on reducing food loss and optimizing food production, agriculture, and fishing.
フードシステム、これも非常に日本的かなというふうに考えてますけど、食料の生産に関わるようなプロセスであったり、農業の最適化、あとはフードロスに関するアイディアなどを求めたいと思います。
Microphones definitely don't like me. Sustainable mobility is ideas on batteries, transportation, and mobility that catalyze the shift towards clean energy mobility models.
バッテリーやモバイルや持続可能な交通手段、こういったものに関するアイディアを、ぜひともいただきたいなと思ってます。
Blue economy is anything that has to do with the sea or water base. It can be any tourism or maritime transportation activities or marine biotechnologies and agriculture and such.
これは海洋環境に関わるようなアイディア、こういったものを求めています。日本も、これまた日本にはすごく親和性の高いテーマかなというふうに考えています。
Christian has given you our success story of the last 2 years that we have been hosting this. So I guess we don't have to go into much detail, but every year we've been having a really successful candidates to go through the regional round and the global round. So hopefully this year as well, we'll be able to recruit your startups and to push them and launch them towards global success.
はい。CLP 自体は10回目になるんですけど、我々が日本事務局を始めて、2021年から始めて、今回が3回目です。で、過去2年間については、グローバルファイナルに我々が選出したチームを送り出すことができているので、今年もぜひ素晴らしい、課題解決、提案をですね、お待ちしております。
The YouTube video. Stay tuned.
はい。これらのビデオ、今日は時間がないので、流しませんけれども、我々 PDI グループのウェブサイトにて確認できるので、ぜひご確認ください。ここにいるイケメン君はですね、真ん中に立っている、リチャード。はい。本日のちょうどパネルディスカッションでも登壇しますので、その際にいろいろ話を聞きたいなというふうに思います。
The most important takeaway today is apply by May 26th. So we look forward to a lot of entries. Thank you very much.
はい。今日一番重要なのは、5月26日がデッドラインだよということを皆さん、ご認識いただくことなので、それまでに一つでも多くの素晴らしい提案をお待ちしておりますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。And from here, we would like to go on and do the panel discussion. So I would like to welcome Richard from Greentopia. Is Mayu here? Mayu. Hello, Mayu. And Ken from Lupinus. So, 大きな拍手でお迎えください。So, today what I would like to do is ask these three entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, 3 questions. But before we do so, yeah, you can stand back. Yeah. First and foremost, I would like to ask everyone to do a brief introduction about yourself and about the company. And don't explain too much about the program itself because you'll be asked later on, okay? So starting with, why don't we start from Mayu?
Hi, I'm Mayu from Cuisine, and I participated this competition 2 years ago, which is the first one. And my idea was to about the food and the
Food
like
system.
food system and our friendly meal. So we どこまで
簡単な自己紹介でプログラムの内容とか後で質問するから。
And we tried to as our proposal was to invent the service for the restaurants to deliver the earth-friendly meals and the green transformation of the restaurants. And yeah, later on now we'll be talking about the experience with this competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. So Richard?
Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Mays.
Try this. Oh, this is dead too.
I know the most.
Yeah, speak up.
Just speak up.
Okay. I'm Richard Mays, and before I got involved in environmentalism, I used to be a stock trader and living a life of finance. I had a hedge fund that I had run for 14 years. And something happened when my 2 children were born. I realized this was all pointless. It was not fulfilling at all. And Christian had spoke earlier about purpose. And it was in that moment, holding my, my 2 daughters, thinking, oh, what is my purpose here? It's to secure a healthy planet for them. And me staring at numbers on the screen, it's really doing nothing. So I got into urban farming. I was able to reach about 1,000 people my first year, teaching at international schools in Tokyo. And I wanted to do more and more, so I got into hydroponics. I started making my own systems at home to learn more about hydroponics, and then started to integrate that with school programs. And that's about when I discovered ClimateLaunchpad, which was going to help me give direction to making this dream of doing something for the earth into a profitable endeavor.
All right, thank you, Richard. All right, Ken? Ken さん、声がでかいから大丈夫。
My company is called Lupina, and my name is Ken Yukai, the founder and CEO. Founder and CEO. Like what we are trying to achieve is like a contribution to the development and health and the economy of the world, with the excellent being called the Lupina and fermentation technique. It seems that like a plant-based meat industry is getting more active in worldwide, such as like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods and insect meat, whatever. On the other hand, they seem to use the many chemical additives and use the unnatural things. So what we are going to create and sell is like plant-based meat, which doesn't have any chemical additives. To do that, we believe that bean and fermentation, both of them, it's really simple, is the best option because the bean has a lot of protein and fermentation is considered to be one of the traditional Japanese techniques.
Okay, well, thank you, Ken. So I would like to ask you all a very simple question, and please answer in 1 minute maximum. Very concrete, simple. The question is, tell us about your experience with the program. Tell us how the program, the curriculum, and the coaches helped you develop your business. So this time, why don't we start with Richard?
I'm going to refer to my notes. Just
Yeah.
anything else.
That's not a problem.
Oh, yeah, so of course, when I first joined Climate Launchpad, I had no idea what I was going to do. I just had this idea that I wanted to do something positive for the environment, and I wanted it to involve hydroponics. And this was a great leap for me, the ultimate pivot going from finance to farming. So I had poorly defined plans, and Climate Launchpad was able to help me focus. And that's what it's all about. I had a dozen things I wanted to do, but for the most part, Climate Launchpad picked that all apart and said, focus on what's going to make money. And it's a fine balance, balancing your environmental ideals and turning a profit at the same time. And that's one of the vital things that Climate Launchpad had taught me. It's not just enough to have a good idea, you have to actually be profitable with it. So they had helped me with my focus, they helped me communicate my vision, my branding, and I learned a ton about environmental impacts all through supply chain manufacturing, and really helped me figure out how to proceed.
All right, thank you, Richard. Ken, would you like to go next?
So I've been like a self-employee for more than 10 years. And actually, I failed my past company. So what I'm doing right now, it's kind of like a restarting. So I kind of knew like all the basic things and most of the topic. But when I started my past business, I didn't know anything about the startups, even the word startup, didn't think. I also made a lot of mistakes, especially the capital policy and marketing strategy. I really screwed up. メモがないね。第二言語ですから私は。So yeah, I really wish that I could like take a kind of this approach. I really wish that I could take this kind of program and could get known the better people, high level people, and I would be highly likely to be successful. And to achieve my goal, which is to achieve the IPO at the NASDAQ, not at the JAXA, I need to create a strong team. So I wanted to all of my team members to understand the basic things about the startup. So I asked my staff and founders member to join this program to learn many things and basic things. And thanks to that, they are more motivated and more knowledgeable about the startup company.
Okay, thank you, Ken. And finally, Mayu.
So in my case, just the first one, it was like really just the idea of the seed of the ideas. So there's nothing like the key, and but the programs, really important programs like the boot camp that they are experiencing, and the simplified presentation format. We only could build the 8 pages or 9 pages for the presentation. Yep. So it's really simple, and we need to put everything on it, right? So it was like really good practice for me to just at the first time building up the business idea, and yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. So the next question is, how has the journey continued after CLP? And this time we'll start with Ken. I hope you have your notes. And don't worry, we're not asking for a.
Actually, thanks to the winning of CLP Japan competition, we are selected to the Yokohama City Acceleration Program, and consequently to get the grant money from Yokohama City. It is 6.5 million yen. And our intermediate goal is in this year is to raise the 300 million yen as a seed round, especially to build the production research center. As a product, we have 2 kinds of product, which is for human and pet dog food. For human, our product has been sold to the more than 20 customers, 20 restaurants. For dogs, I have a dog, and my dog really loves it. And also having a lot of inquiry from major Japanese companies. So in my opinion, the actual product cannot tell a lie. On the other hand, just saying can take a lot of time. So, and we tend, in my opinion, we tend to be kind of like overconfident for ourselves, especially for the, we are like entrepreneur type people. So, but the reality is much harder than we think. So by asking for the many good advice from the good advisor, our business can be more brushed up. So thank you. And what we can learn, like via this program, can be used for the many other situations, such as like asking for the loan and investment and the grant money. The way of the thinking is pretty much the same. So, so just like a marketing theory, good systemized methodology can shorten the travel difficult journey.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, Mayu.
So, the journey after that, right?
Yeah.
So as I talked about before, that my initial plan was to develop the service, B2B service for the restaurants. But after the competition, we kind of changed the direction and more focused on the concept of the climatarium, which is the climate friendly diet in Japan. So we took it from Europe or the word, and then make the website to explain about the concept. And with the concept, the Japanese kind of with the concrete concept and the words from foreign countries, the Japanese kind of tend to be easier to get the concept and then implement the lifestyle. So we go on the TV, we on radio, and so now it's getting really spread. And this word, the climatarium, is actually officially implemented to the next week is the Earth Day, which is one of the biggest art eco-friendly festival. And then this will be leads to many eco-friendly people. So it's getting bigger now. We're really happy about that.
All right, thank you, Mayu. And finally, Richard.
Yes, so ClimateLaunchpad had put me in front of a lot of people and opened the door to a lot more events and networking opportunities. And it's so important and vital to have that kind of exposure, to get in front of people and pitch your ideas repeatedly and to take in the feedback. Something that we had done through ClimateLaunchpad program all the time is getting that feedback from mentors and through the training programs and classes. And ClimateLaunchpad provided that opportunity, where some other programs want you to pay for that, or they want an equity stake in the company. But now with ClimateLaunchpad, it was kind of fantastic that it was all gratis. So now, after completing the program, Greentopia had advanced to the global grand semifinals. We now have several hydroponics installations around Tokyo. We've got 2 rooftop farms of 10 towers each. We've got 2 international schools with our towers, and we have 2 residences and installation at CIC, a co-working space. So we're just scratching the surface here. I'm hoping to reach my goal of 10 international schools by the end of the year. And we've received a small bit of funding, which will allow me to change my company structure and to bring on 1 or 2 people this summer to help with sales, installation, and maintenance. So yeah, it's been a great launch pad, as it were, and hopefully our success can continue.
And I personally intend to install one on my rooftop myself.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So thank you. This brings us to the final question, and let's keep this simple. Give us 3 reasons why an entrepreneur or entrepreneur should take part in this program. So this time, yeah, going back to Mayu. And before Mayu, you speak, I would also like to introduce Mayu because she not only is a green tech innovator, but she also has a day-to-day job as well, which is very unique for Japanese people. So I really wanted to bring that up, if that's okay. And maybe you can talk about it before you talk about the 3 reasons.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, out of the blue.
No. Oh, thank you. So yes, as the design introduced, I'm working day to day, and afterward we're doing this activity, like night and weekends. So our team is more than 10 people, and then we're like totally run by the voluntary basis. And so with that, like it really kind of like to go more making the value of the like non-tangible value to the society. Yeah, and then day-to-day job, like I can't really go into the details, but for the marketing, the communication. Yes.
3 reasons.
3 reasons. And so I learned 3 things. First one is it's the great first step to get into to realize your idea to the life. And the second is business, the friends and the network. And we have Ken and Christian really huge son of you. I think I'm believe that we're friends.
Absolutely.
It's great opportunity to be friends here. And then of course it's professional friends. I mean, like they're so professional about the climate. And the third thing is the confidence. So it's of course for the non-English speaker, it's London in English, and the first thing at the last competition final, one of the judges was the teacher, the Ishikura sensei was the person who I really admire. So I was really excited about that, to have a chance to present in front of her. And of course it's good lesson to talk in front of many people. And I believe that really this competition brought you a venue to step further, going further.
Thank you, Mike. All right, Richard.
3 things. It's free.
All right.
It's free. So you get access to amazing advice, amazing mentors, all these workshops, and it's called Climate Launchpad Competition, but it doesn't feel like a competition. It was an educational experience, and it teaches you how to build your business from first principles. You can come in there knowing nothing, and suddenly learn how to market, how to pitch, and how to run a business. The other great aspect of it is all the networking and relationships. A lot of those mentors and a lot of the people who took were in the competition with me, and everyone I met along the way at various events, they're still friends of mine today. We still help each other out, and that is critical when you're building a business from nothing. You need a support group. And finally, you don't have all the answers. Nobody does. So this will be a rude awakening if you think you know what you're doing. And it'll be extremely helpful if you're willing to listen to people's advice and be flexible, because they've done it. They know what they're talking about. So all in all, fantastic experience, and I couldn't recommend it any.
Right. Thank you, Richard. Nice sound there, Marco. Yeah. Okay, and Ken?
It's like Richard said, it's free, and we can drink a lot of champagne for free. And I just, but I want to say that like code is really great, and the program is really sophisticated, so it's really worth participating. And like as I said, that like entrepreneurs tend to be overconfident. So, but the reality is much harder. So, by getting conquered, by the many criticisms, right, our business plan can be more flashed out. So this is first. Second thing is like even though the climate launchpad, like seems to be really like worldwide and big event, but in Japan it doesn't seems to have many Africans. So I think it's like, in my opinion, to avoid the competition is also important. So as a Japanese, right, I'm taking advantage of that. Right, I'm trying to like join in the many Japanese only accelerator, which is really, really, really competitive. But just by combining the English things and accelerator, the competition is much less. So in my opinion, like less competition, there are much more blue ocean. So this is the second thing. And third thing is like we can meet the really good people right here. So like getting to know with the very high level people and motivated people, it's really tough. It's really limited. Time is really limited. Like this kind of event this event could give us many opportunities to get to know the really good people and motivated people and high level people. I can really appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you. I'd like to thank Richard, Mayu, and Ken once again. And you will all have a chance to share champagne with them, which is free as well, after the Q&A session. So thank you. All right, thank you very much. Okay, and now we would like to go on to a QA session. You want to stand up front? If you have any questions about the program, about anything actually, about the sponsorship, we will be very happy to answer them. And anybody online, we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So.
My name is Koji. So I used to be a venture capitalist for one of the Japanese CDC, and I just started my own company 6 years ago. So just I'm not there for this program, but I'm just wondering that who would be the right person, I guess. They haven't founded the company when they applied, right? I think
they could have founded it,
but you say that
both cases, yeah.
Younger than 1 year, right? Yeah. So it should be a very, very early stage.
Correct.
Well, you won't say that, but anyway. So who the right person, right organization, right group to apply for that, because there's a bunch of some companies there's a bunch of the accelerator around the in Japan now, and then it's more like they're trying to find a good startup to fund, right? So, but you guys are, as he said, very unique. Just said you have a path to the global, but in general, I have a bunch of friends, younger people, but if I were talking to them, what would be the motivation for them to apply to your program? Just some keyword or something other than you understand?
Very good. So I mean, first of all, one thing which we mentioned at the beginning, purpose-driven. So they should want to make an impact in the world, and they should care about, for example, climate change, and they have an urge to fix that problem. And it doesn't matter actually if they are young or older. In Japan, you have a lot of people who are mid-career, and they might have a job, but they have an idea and they would like to realize it. And these people also, we had a variety of these people participating, and you can really come with a simple idea. I mean, it was described in the Climate Launchpad brochure. You can come with an idea which you can paint on a napkin. But the other thing is you have to be ambitious, persistent, and you have to be really willing to push it through. We had some participants in the past, and we selected them as finalists. And then after a while, they actually dropped out because they did not have the perseverance. So you should be sure that you want to do something. And like you said, the English language is something where you can actually expect that you can scale the business to the global stage. Does that answer your question? Oh, okay. Any other question, or everybody wants to drink champagne? So this should, it's Pommery has always supported our events, Pommery Champagne, and they also have a sustainable champagne production. In the first year, we had actually the representative of Pommery here at the embassy. So throughout the pandemic, we were the only ones doing events here at the embassy, I think. And again, a big thank you to the Dutch embassy. Also, thank you to our volunteers who are already preparing the champagne, Kumiko-san, Marco, and Taira-san. Okay. Thank you so much for providing your help today. And also, we have a sponsor here from last year, which was actually the main sponsor, KPMG. Fuji-san, thank you for being here, and we hope to have you also this year. So thank you so much, and I just want to repeat, you have something? We have a question from the online audience, so can we just answer this?
There are two questions. There are several questions.
Let's focus on the most important.
So I'll read out the questions. We have 1, 2 questions, I believe, 3. The first question, is it mandatory to complete round 1 process to proceed to round 2? That's a yes. It all goes in sequences. The second question, I'm wondering if you could please tell me about the current size of climate tech startups ecosystem. I have one question. The characteristic of the person becoming a finalist. Characteristic of the person becoming a finalist.
I think we answered it. The finalist. Okay.
Do you want?
I mean, what I just said is perseverance is very important. So if you are a finalist, you have really the will to push through and to work on your idea, to also work with the coaches. We had several of our participants who did not even take the chance to connect with the coaches, but the ones who did, they were always very happy that they got a lot of good advice. And it's about constant improvement, so and also flexibility. So that's not what you think. People who have rigid ideas are not entrepreneurs. So you have to be flexible, and you have to be able to listen to advice. And then the grander vision is important, but you have to be able to shift also your ideas, like Mayu, for example.
I just add to that, the boot camp and the mini course, they're extremely informative, and the setting of Climate Launchpad is that, as Mayu mentioned, it has a rigid actually structure of 9 pages only, which is actually helping you to actually do your elevator pitches and to make your business plan as concrete and as concise as possible. So the people that we've seen that have been successful are the ones that actually following the steps and actually absorbing all the advices that the coaches and we try to like help each other, the peer-to-peer reviews and the entire teams that participate. It's, as they mentioned, it's not really a competition. It's more like helping each other environment. So as like the person who actually try to absorb as much as possible and actually try to reflect that in their presentation seem to be more successful.
Do we have another question?
Okay. I think that's it. Any other questions?
Yeah, to be honest, I think, being a finalist is just a consequence of what you're trying to achieve, and it's just a process. So your goal is not to become a finalist. Surely not. I think you all serve and the motivation is for a greater purpose. So yeah, while I do appreciate the question, I do appreciate the fact that we're all here to make a difference and an impact. And that's what's really important. So I really wanted to stress that. Thank you.
It's a climate launchpad, so we want this to be the launchpad.
The launchpad of ideas, and like I said at the beginning, ideas can often be the beginning of big enterprises. And this is what we are here for, and this is why it's so wonderful to listen to our three panelists, that even after this climate launchpad, they are actually continuing and they are making smaller or bigger success stories. And maybe in 2-3 years, who knows where they are, what they do. But if they pursue what they do, they will definitely create impact in this world. And we should now all go to the champagne, because and then we can celebrate the beginning, and we can celebrate the togetherness in this room here at the Dutch Embassy. So thank you very much for tonight, and let's make it a great season. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, I think the champagne is ready, and so are you. So